Over the past couple months since Cancel Canada Day, I've been stuck asking myself, what's next? I've been trying to find solutions and ways that we can move forward in a good way. But what I've realized is that I haven't been able to answer this question because this question is a much bigger question than I can answer alone. This question is a question for the entire Indigenous community to answer. Therefore, I'm producing a short documentary answering this exact question, what's next? I will be interviewing Indigenous elders, community leaders, and residential school survivors, as well as the top influencers to get their views on what they think needs to happen in order to move forward. My goal is to find solutions and to create a hub of knowledge where the Indigenous community can be heard, making it easier for the general public, teachers, government officials, and the leaders of this country to hear our voices. Because we need to be heard and action needs to be taken. In case anyone is unaware of what is going on in the Indigenous community throughout Canada, hundreds and now thousands of children's bodies have been recently discovered in unmarked graves and mass burials on Indian residential school grounds across the country. And unfortunately, this is just the beginning of it. This is a very challenging time for the Indigenous community. And the trauma this has brought up is indescribable. I am crowdfunding this documentary as it is time sensitive and we need to act now. The goal is to raise $100,000 and most of the funds will go towards covering honorariums for each speaker so we can pay them for their time and contribution, as well as production costs for a film crew, editor, the time it will take, and any travel needed in order to make interviews possible. Any additional funds will go towards buying new sports equipment for the Indigenous youth affected by the fires in northern Manitoba. Through this documentary, it is my goal to capture the voices of the Indigenous community. It is such an important time in history for our voices to be heard. And when you think about it, how can we as a nation move forward in a good way if our voices, the voices of the Indigenous community, the voices of the residential school survivors themselves, go unheard? If you want to know how the Indigenous community wants to move forward, please share this video, and if you feel inspired to, help by donating funds to help make this documentary a reality. Thank you to everyone who's been so supportive of the Indigenous community and to everyone doing what they can to elevate Indigenous voices.